Table read. Danielle, welcome to the table read, and thank you so much for being here with us.
Happy to be here. So excited to be your second guest. So happy and so honored. Thanks, guys.
Of course. Before we start our episodes, we always like to do a little icebreaker just because they're fun. And we thought since you've gotten more involved on social media lately, to test you on Gen Z slang.
This is gonna go horribly wrong. Okay, yes.
The first one is eight.
Oh, it's supposed to be something like sexy. Oh, she ate that, right? Isn't that
Yeah.
like okay, good.
Okay. Next one is tea.
Like spilling the tea. Like tell me the gossip.
Yeah.
Yes. You're doing amazing.
Oh my
Okay.
god, I'm so happy. Can we stop now so I just don't fail?
No, you
Okay.
got it. Okay, the next one, clock it.
I have no idea, but I can think like clock it, like that's cool or that's an important thing. Like, I don't know, like clock that stuff.
Kind of, yeah. It's like if you were in an argument with somebody and you had a friend with you and like makes let's say you made a really good point and they're like, clock it. Like you basically
Like,
made a
period.
good point. Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm gonna be using this all of the time. I'm 100% love making a good point. So now I'm gonna say clock it.
Next one is it's giving.
Yes, no, like the outfit is giving. Like it's giving the vibes, it's giving the yes. No, I love a giving. I love that. I don't say
Yes.
it, but I know it.
The next one is ick.
Well, that gives you the ick, right? Is that
Yeah.
like, oh, that's gross. Like that makes me kind of like, ugh.
Mhm.
Like, it
Yeah.
cringes you out a little bit.
Okay, this actually, oh my god, I don't feel as uncool as I thought I was.
Okay, last one is like kind of a four-part. So, first one is like, I'm dead, or screaming, crying, help.
Are these like all they have to be said together? I'm dead,
No,
screaming.
No,
no.
it's like something you say to someone, like they'll say something to you and that's your response to them. As it could be like any of those, like, I'm dead. Help.
Yeah, usually
Screaming.
help is in like all caps over text message, or like LOL is in all caps.
And it doesn't mean help.
Mm-mm.
No.
I mean, the only thing that comes to mind when it's like I'm dead is like something amazing is happening. So you're like, oh my god, I'm dead. But I don't think I know this one because to me, I would just think I'm dead or help is like this person needs help.
Kinda.
Yeah,
No, you guys can
sort
tell
of.
me I'm completely wrong. Be honest.
Jakaya, you got it.
Okay, so basically, like, if Station came back or something, and then I sent the
Okay.
text to Amber, and she was
Yes,
like, "I'm dead," or she's like screaming, or she's like, "Help!" That means she's excited, like, "Oh my gosh, like what
this
is
makes
happening?"
sense.
Yeah,
Or it means like something's really funny.
yeah.
Okay, okay,
Like
this kind
help.
of makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes more sense when you're like in the moment.
And I can actually like I can see that. I could see of like how that would play out. There's other ones that I don't fully understand that happen all the time, like where people just say mommy. Like I don't understand why people are saying mommy
Mother.
or
Mommy,
mother.
mother.
Mother
Yeah.
feels
I
proper.
like,
I'm like I feel
yeah.
like I'm mother dragon or something. Like,
I call my mom mother.
I call my mom mother
okay,
too
Yeah,
but
I
why
don't
are
know
people
why.
calling me mother?
because, well, I
Because
think
you're
people mean
giving.
like you're giving, like they're
Yeah,
like
you're
mother,
giving.
mother.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay,
it's a good
okay. This
thing. It's
It's a
not bad.
compliment.
It's a compliment.
Okay, good. And do I want to be a diva? Because someone like today was like,
Yes.
"You're a diva," and I was like, "Is this a good thing or a bad thing?"
Yes, it's a
You know?
good
Mhm.
thing, like, you're a diva, like, yeah, you're fierce.
Oh, this is amazing. Okay, okay, I've learned so much. Thanks, guys, for that.
That was the end of our little icebreaker,
Great.
and now you know that we're called a table read, and we talk all things film and TV, the industry, the ins and outs, whatnot, and so our first question for you is, looking back, what's one moment when you realize, "Oh, this industry plays different for, like, women?" Like, there's different rules.
I think it's always because I started so young at 7 and was on sets, it would always felt that there was absolutely discrepancies between how men were treated and how women were treated. But also when I was really young, you just saw more men. Like, I don't think I ever had a female director until I did a sitcom when I was about 16 years old or 17. And that was the first female director I ever had. So I think you just felt like it was the norm until you realized that it could actually be different. It's interesting. That's why representation is so important. And it's shifted so much. But so much of the industry, for so long, you just thought like, "Oh, this is just the norm." Like, I don't even know how to explain it because you feel so naive actually saying it. You're like, "Oh, I guess women don't wanna direct." Like, you feel as a kid, so you feel so stupid thinking that. But then you go, "Oh, wait, women can direct." And that changed a lot. I always reference Catherine Bigelow winning the Oscar because I think it was such a shock to me because when I loved Hurt Locker so much, I didn't know a woman directed it. And then on top of it, a woman directed it and then she won an Oscar. So that was a huge shift for me. And I felt like obviously it's continually evolving and has to continually evolve now that I'm like, well, this is a real thing that we've just been told for years that we can't do. For whatever reason, someone told us we can't do it. And so it's now been this push to be like, okay, no, we can do it and we are going to do it. And we're not going to just do female driven teeny bopper stuff, even though some of us love that. That's totally fine. But like it shouldn't be so limiting. It's evolved, and I definitely felt very kind of naive at first because it's what I grew up in, and what you grew up in is what you know. And so I just until I started seeing more women on set and female directors and camera operators, like I try not to get too excited every time I see a female camera operator because I'm like, I don't want them to like feel weirded out by me. But every time I'm like, oh my God, hi. Like I
Well, I
think
would
you're so
think that's a compliment, like, "Oh, hey."
Mhm.
I always
Um,
come over and give the compliment, but you know me, I can come on strong, guys.
it's okay. That's what we love about you.
I I definitely am like, especially just because I've just gone to film school, so I haven't done anything like crazy yet. But every time I would do a short or work on set, it was always all female team. So writer, actor, director, DP. And I was like, so I would tell my friends about it, and I'd be like, my friends who aren't in the film industry, and I'd be like, yeah, we're all women, and they're like, okay, and I'm like, no, guys, this is huge. This is
It's
groundbreaking.
huge. It's so huge. I just did one day of filming on a friend's independent film, and she did her best to like have as many female crew members as possible. And it just there's something about it that just feels so good when you walk on set and you're like, this is awesome. Like just to be a part of that. I don't know if you guys heard me say it at one of the conventions, but I love that Nicole Kidman has made it a point, like that all these jobs she's doing lately to very actively say, I want to work with female directors. And she's had the power to do that. So when you actually have the power to do it, it's pretty cool that she's owning that.
As a woman, what do you feel is an important strength as far as being successful, whether it's in the entertainment industry or just any industry that a woman is trying to succeed in?
I mean, perseverance, I think that's anybody that's trying to succeed. You know, there tends to be have to be more perseverance against obviously bias and sexism that we're going to face that other people don't have to face, men don't have to face, I should say. But perseverance is probably the number one thing you have to be. I mean, I think everyone, man or woman, has to be prepared to have ups and downs and to lean into your talent and your strengths. But I think perseverance across the board, no matter who you are, is essential to be successful. But women probably a little bit more in regards to the fact that you have more hurdles you have to get past. I'm dealing with it now. Like I'm doing this music video and I'm hitting every roadblock possible because I'm a woman making the calls. And I'm basically at a point where I'm like having to hire a male producer because like no one is taking me seriously.
Oh, no.
But yeah, no, I'm like, so perseverance. Like I literally wanted to like scream into a pillow on Friday. And today I hit the ground running, being like, okay, I'm just gonna, get on the phone again and make these calls and make it work. But yeah, perseverance would be my answer.
It sucks because you think like that there's been so much progress in the industry, and then things like that happen, and you're like, okay,
Yeah.
nope.
No, we have so much further to go. But what I love and what you guys have probably seen too in the film industry is women really support women in this I don't know, part of this profession. It just feels like I have yet to meet a female director, writer, camera operator who hasn't supported another female. And that's been extremely inspiring and empowering and also so it inspires me to want to also lift anyone else who is like trying to kind of go through it. I'm like, okay, let me give you all the tips and pointers that I got. And I just find that it's really special.
It's like women empowering women.
Mm-hmm. So important. What is that one shirt I always have that I wear sometimes is empowered women empower women? Yeah.
Sure.
I wear it
I
every
don't
once in a while.
remember.
And every time I wear it, I'm like, gosh, this shirt says so much. But it's empowered women empower women. And
I
I
need that
just
shirt.
Yeah.
it's a really good one. I'll make
Okay.
it.
No, do it. People would buy it.
Yeah,
Deal.
people would. Your own merch.
Like, let me add something else to the list of things to do. Just trying to keep up this
Um,
social media game.
you're
You're
doing
crushing
great.
it.
Thanks, guys.
How do you balance giving so much of yourself to your fans and career while also balancing your personal life?
It's been interesting to find that balance. Because it's been hard to find it in regard to sometimes I give too much to one and I end up sacrificing. And then I realize, okay, I'm neglecting everything over here and I have to. So the balance is it's definitely been a work in progress to find the perfect balance. And I'm still not sure if I'm exactly there. Uh, but I'm someone who loves to give. I'm definitely like a giver. So I think just for me, I have to keep doing it. I just have to make sure that I'm not upsetting people that need my attention and time too. And I'm learning that, I heard a friend's failing the other day and she's like, I feel like we don't hang out and talk anymore. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, and so we needed to connect and talk about things and talk through things. And I figure out that balance. I'm like, okay. And then I talk to my therapist about it and she helps me as well. But I think balance is something that's hard no matter what. And we constantly evolve as people as well. So there's an element of that balance that shifts when our life shifts. When you start a new relationship, when you have kids, when you have a new job, like the balance is constantly shifting. And it's sometimes hard to keep an eye on taking care of everyone and what's important.
Yeah, because I know you do conventions a lot because we went to the London one.
Mhm.
And you like also went on your vacation afterwards. And I was like, she deserves that.
Where did I go after?
I have no idea, but you were everywhere.
That's right. My sister came to London. That's actually a perfect example of balance. So my sister really wants to learn to travel more. She's just someone she hasn't had the opportunities like me to be able to travel as much. She really wanted to travel and she's like, we did it on a tight budget because we split everything. And so, she's like, you're in London. I want to come to London. I've never done it. And I was like, okay. So we took the tube every day and we went and saw all the things and we had such an amazing time. But that is part of finding the balance because like I'd really neglected seeing my sister over the years. And so it was nice to connect in that way. But yeah, that's right. We did it in London. Jesus, that feels like it was a year ago.
I
Okay.
know. That was my first time ever like over the ocean anywhere.
Really?
And I was yeah, and I was so jet lagged the entire time. I think the first day we got there we slept for 13 hours.
Yeah.
It was
We
rough.
woke up and it was like 8 o'clock. We're like,
We're like, what
what?
day is it?
You start to learn this balance of like, okay, if I'm taking a red eye, sleep on the red eye when I get there so that I wake up, like force yourself to sleep. It's like melatonin or magnesium or what. And
Mhm.
then like flying home, I'll usually just tough it out and not sleep so that when I land, I can sleep that night. But it is become once you travel more and more, you'll get like a habit down of like what works for you because that jet lag, she's a
Rough.
yeah,
So you recently shadowed on Grey's Anatomy.
I did.
What was that like?
Oh my gosh. It was scary as hell because I was shadowing Debbie Allen. For anyone that doesn't know, she's an icon, from her fame days to choreography to, producing to having a Kennedy honors to like everything. Like the woman she's an icon. If you don't know her, look her up. So I was definitely scared, and she's known for being a very tough teacher. So I knew going in to be as prepared as possible. You guys know me, I'm a Virgo. I'm always prepared. But I knew that at any moment she could ask a question and I need to have an answer. Even if it's not necessarily right, just be prepared to give an answer, have confidence and stuff like that. So I was definitely prepared, but scared. You know what? I don't know how much we can cuss on this podcast.
Go for
Say
it.
whatever you want.
Okay, good. I was absolutely scared shitless. And I remember like second day in, she's already like quizzing me on stuff. And because of the kind of teacher she is, she's like, fail. And I was like so disappointed, you guys don't understand. Cause I was like, I thought that was a great shot and like such a great shot list. I'm like, why did I fail? And she likes to teach you a lesson. And so I learned a lot from her. I walked away because really she likes to view everything in the frame as a dance. Everything matters. She says every shot is a close up. And she means that in the sense that like everything on the frame matters. And she really loves choreographing both the actors in the background to really tell a whole story with what's in the frame. And I've never seen a director have that much attention to the detail of what's going around in the whole shot. Usually people focus on just the people that are talking. So it was really amazing to see that. It also means that like, my God, this woman is amazing. But that also makes it that she's having to work even harder because she's having to focus on everything. But no, it was very scary. By the end, she said I got a C, which I was told is like an A in Debbie's book. So I'll take
Great.
that because I was about to cry. I was like, he's cool. But no, it was an amazing experience and I learned a lot. And I'm already in touch with her about hopefully I would love to direct this season. I don't think it's going to happen this season, but I will shadow again. You guys know me, I'm the queen of shadowing. By the time I get to direct again, I'll have shadowed, I think, every director in the industry of television. But it was great. It was great. And I learned a lot from her.
I feel like being able to kind of learn more about what you want to do from people who do it best, like, that's so
Yeah.
fun. Like, I love doing acting classes and everything because I get to learn from so many, like, amazing people.
Yeah. And I think there's something too about nothing is being handed to you from Debbie. I mean, nothing's been handed to me at all yet, but like she's tough, she's very much like the reason why she says it's an F for a C, she's like, do better. I want you to just keep striving to do better. She's not gonna like coddle you or hold your hand, which I really appreciate because this industry doesn't coddle you or hold your hand. So she's really teaching a valuable lesson by being that tough. And then when you actually get to see her in her little moments, you actually realize she's actually just like, she's like a mom and a grandma and a sweet lady, but man, is she good at playing tough.
After you do finish shadowing an episode, like, is there anything else you do after, or you just kinda, like, move on to the next thing? Like, is there a
Y-
process?
Well, shadowing does pre-production, production, and post-production. So you're part of the editing process as well. And you can go to whatever extreme you want. When I was first shadowing, I wanted to know everything from color correcting to any CGI or VFX that was done. I was really wanting to get in on everything. Now I realize, okay, usually the DPs do the color correcting and you don't sit in on things like that. But it was great to get that experience early on. But the editing process is 100% something you have to do when production ranks. And I love that process because you see it go through so many iterations, which is really fantastic to see. But also, and I think Sean Rhimes is actually who said it, is that a script gets rewritten 3 times. And you write it, and you shoot it, and you edit it. So kind of the last rewrite is in the editing room. And it is pretty amazing what can happen. And that's the director's job. So I love that part of shadowing a lot. And sometimes I actually like it best because you get to really just sit there and play. And it changes so much. You can move one scene and the whole thing changes. But after that, no, after that, you're done. After that, you're like, okay, well, it was an unpaid internship to shadow someone around. Or like when I fly to Vancouver, like, it's paying for hotel rooms and flights. And you walk away going, hopefully they'll hire me.
Do you get like a permission slip signed sort of situation?
Yeah,
Is it
like
like
a
You
resume.
right?
like
And for those and people listening that might be wanting to get into directing, I took a very different route, which is why shadowing has become such a main priority because I was an actor on a show who started shadowing directors because I had the access to them. But usually what ends up happening is a lot of people strive to be part of directing programs. Like CBS has one, NBC has one, ABC has one. Director Television Line has one, Shondaland has one. Everyone's got a director's program. And really the goal is to try to get into a director's program, which usually guarantees you an episode after you're done filming. I thought that after directing on station, that would open the door to that I directed an episode. But what one person did say to me was, well, you're an actor directed on your own show. And so they basically just like discredited everything I did. They're like, yeah, well, you were helped by the crew. And of course, the crew wants to look out for you. But I was like, okay. And what was great is my follow up was I was like, can I get you letters of recommendations? So I had Paris, Tessa Blake, Erin Okada, everyone send, Emily Culver, everyone send letters of recommendation saying how qualified I was and how, it didn't have my hand held. So it helped, but I'm basically now fighting up against this assumption that's been made about me as an actor director. So it's interesting. So at this point, I'm like, I want to get into a directing program, but most directing programs, you can't have already directed an episode of television. So I'm stuck in this predicament of continuing to shadow. So I guess the point I'm making is most people, if you're listening to this, get into a director's program. They'll teach you, they'll have you shadow, they'll give you an episode, and then you'll actually be an in-house director for whatever that network is or production company, which is, I think, in hindsight, a much better route to go because now I'm kind of up against a lot of different things and having to call friends to basically be like, can I shadow with the hopes of maybe one day directing? So yeah, that was a very long answer, but I hope it benefits you.
speaking of, if you directed an episode of Grey's Anatomy and you could choose or when you direct an episode of Grey's Anatomy,
Yes. Oh, I love
and you could choose any storyline, what storyline would you pick? Because they've done so
Ooh.
much stuff already, it's insane.
They've done everything. Isn't this their 22nd season or 21st?
20 something, yeah.
They've done everything. You know what I miss though, because I've only watched seasons 1 through 9, but what I have seen over the crossover episodes is they don't do anything with the fairy anymore. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of miss, and I get it because shows, they become more expensive in some ways, and so they end up shooting more and more on stages. But it felt like those going up to Seattle and shooting exteriors and seeing Seattle and incorporating the ferry into the show again, like, I kinda miss that about Grays when I've seen more recent episodes. It feels like everything is in the hospital. So and as I think you guys know from my episode of Station 19 is I love action. So, I love that I'm like, "Hire me for the medical show, but I'm gonna take the whole show outside of the hospital."
I mean,
Change of
you never
scenery.
know. Yeah.
I love the big action stuff. I mean, that to me, if the episode had something really cool and big happening that incorporated, going on a ferry, or even something simple as like they just go out on the ferry and there's some love story or something. But the show has such great writers and such great cast that I would be happy to kind of have any real storyline. I just selfishly would want some exteriors in Seattle, ferry, and some.
In one of your lives from the virtual convention you did on TikTok and Instagram, you said that you and Emily had just finished the first draft of a project you guys are working on. Can you give us any hints?
And I mean, of course I can. I'm trying to think of like what could I say? Uh, Female spy thriller. Really fun. Really. It's like think. I'm like, why am I shooting myself in the foot by saying these things? Think Quantico, think Alias, think The Americans, think like a mix of all those shows. Emily likes to reference Homeland, but I'm like, are we that dark? I'm like, is it that dark? But I'm really happy we finished that really solid, amazing first draft. We got some notes from a dear friend, and to kind of give variations about pitch decks and stuff like that. So we're in that process. And then we just sit down and we pitch stuff, and chances are you usually hear no. That's this industry. But every no opens a door to something else. So even if I would love it if it does, and I'm putting it out there that someone's gonna buy it and love it. But if they don't, we'll make relationships and connections.
So you also
Yeah.
recently just put out your short film Heard,
I
which
did.
very well done, by the way.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And you had mentioned being nervous about putting it out there. Was it more so that it was something so deep and personal, or more how people would interpret the story?
Because it was so deep and personal. It's a sensitive subject matter to talk about. It took a lot of courage for me to even do it, but I was very motivated because I knew I had to. And so I did it, but it actually hit me the most when I was like, "Oh, this is done. Now I have to like put it out there." And I've still, I mean, I don't want to say regret, but I'm very hesitant to even like, I just looked at comments for the first time on the YouTube page where it was uploaded. Like, I really want to engage in the conversation with people, but it is a very scary conversation to have for anybody. Um, and so, but I made this short film and it means so much. I know it means so much to so many people to have these conversations that I have to start just being tough enough to say, okay, like, let's just go for it and at least open the door to the conversation. And everyone's experience is different. I think it's one of those things that I'm not nervous that people's interpretation, will be wrong or something. Like everyone's going to interpret it slightly different based on their own experience. Um, so yeah, so it's more just the sensitivity around it. I mean, talking about sexual assault in any way is nerve wracking because it's also very much something to talk about that ends up being he said, she said, and so, but that's not what this was about. This wasn't about trying to blame. That's why I really didn't want to show the male figure. I wanted it to be about what the female experience is when you're going through something like that. And that's why I made it not as like, even though a lot of people have very strong opinions, people are like, he's an absolute like rapist and it was intentional. And then some people are like, he didn't know because she didn't say no. And I'm like, that's the thing though. There's so
Yeah.
many times you're put in a situation and sometimes women don't say no and they don't know why they didn't say no. Or they thought they said no and they didn't say no. Or they said no and he didn't hear it. Or whatever. How do we start the conversation around consent so that situations like this don't happen anymore? And again, it's like I even nervous saying all those things because I don't want people to get the wrong idea. Like this is like this should not happen is what I get mad about. Like we shouldn't be dealing with these situations anymore where people don't understand what they're signing up for or what's signing up for. I'm trying to get the right words, and this is where I get flustered, guys. Like in my short film, she brings him back to her house, and that itself shouldn't take away the power of her saying no either. But it felt like all these circumstances allowed her to blame and guilt herself and putting her into that situation when she shouldn't feel that way. And I think a lot of women too feel, oh, I shouldn't have done this or that because we tend to go, okay, well, it's not their fault, it's my fault. And that's not
Right.
Yeah.
It consent is a real thing, and talking around these things is a real thing, and talking about them after the fact when they happen, um, is important. I think I said that as eloquently as possible. It's my first time really talking about it, you guys, but
That's
I'm trying
okay.
to get better at verbalizing it.
You're doing great,
So
and we really appreciate your honesty and your vulnerability, and I literally will never forget the first time I watched your short film, like, when it first came out and you
Mhm.
did a virtual,
You saw it at the festival.
yeah,
Yep.
and it, like, forever changed my life, seriously, and I
Really?
continue to share it with everyone, and, I don't know, it's just there's really not much around it that's more personal, um, like, on personal level, so I think that's what really separates it from everyone else.
Thank you for saying that. I hate to hear that when people do say it resonates with them in some ways, like, "Ah, all of us women have experienced something like this." Um, and that gets extremely frustrating, but at least it makes us feel like we're not alone, which I
Yeah.
think is important. We're not hiding in shame.
When you directed your episode of Station, was it difficult to separate your role as a director from being co-star? Like, if you had to give notes or like make changes without it sounding like, I don't know, like bossy or whatever?
It was nerve-wracking at first, but I very much felt very comfortable in the directing role. I have to say it was something that I'm very proud of because I was told, like, "Listen, you're gonna do all this, and then you might direct, and you might realize you're just not cut out for it." And it was very reassuring that I was nervous, as any of this director would be, but I was the most nervous to direct my fellow co-stars because you just don't know how people are gonna react. I will never tell an actor how to play a scene, like, ever. And so now all of a sudden I'm in this director's position where I'm like, oh, I have to tell them if I want them to change it. Luckily, the cast of Station, I think, is such an amazing cast that my notes were more like, I love that take. Let's try this. Like, let's just play around. But I really fell into it naturally. I really enjoyed basically playing. And I had the privilege of not having any bad actors. So it wasn't like, it wasn't like I was having to try to get a performance out of someone that was struggling to get there. I just got to play. And then when it came to, I mean, because I'm a Virgo, I was great at I was great. I was great at controlling that. I was like, okay, so this is what we're doing now. This is what we're doing now. Keeping us on schedule. And then Emily was great because Emily and I have a great relationship where she has very clear boundaries. So when it came to me giving notes on the script, like there were days I was like, would you be open to this in the script? Because as a director, there was a couple things. Like as a director, I feel like I can do this in a oneer. I feel like I can do this in a steady cam oneer. Would you change this? And she's like, yeah. And then there's other things where I'd say like, I don't think this makes sense. Can we condense those two scenes? And she's like, no. And I was like, okay. So you want somebody who's also confident in their work, and I was confident in mine. It was a very good team, and I was very lucky. But yeah, giving notes was the scariest thing, but I got pretty well at
Are
to do
you
it.
like a compliment sandwich kind of person?
I love a compliment sandwich. So
Yeah.
important. That was great. I love that take. Now let's try this.
But
And
it
just
was
play
still
with it.
amazing, like, you got it.
Yes.
But still great.
Oh, that was I mean, and I didn't learn that until I was older, but I absolutely loved learning that about emails, is give the compliment sandwich in the emails. Like you start with something amazing, you have the ask or the critique or whatever, and then you end with something amazing. And yes, I live by it. So yes, everyone else should do because it's amazing.